Давай я включаю звук. Сейчас Zoom он идет. Я же так понимаю, что у нас Zoom сейчас стримится на YouTube, просто твое видео, правильно, со вставочной музыкой. Влад уже как коршун стоит в другом конце зала, поэтому я думаю, что скоро он выйдет. Я сейчас скажу ему, что это. Так, ты подслушивал, ты слышал? Не-не-не, Влад, я попросила Влада зайти в камеру, чтобы ты понял, что пора включать. Просто дело в том, что у нас даст объявление, а начнем через 15 минут, то есть это не 7-секундное решение.
Hashtag Boosteroid Brazil, okay?
Yeah. It's perfect.
Because I'm gonna talk to people to take picture and use hashtags.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Boosteroid
I think it's perfect. We don't need anything.
You guys hear me now? Okay. Yes, I'm zooming. Adding Delta Force is a big problem because they have to make a deal with the publisher. It's not on GeForce Now. It's not going to be on Boosteroid, that's for sure.
Boa noite, pessoal, tudo bem?
Подожди, скажи ему.
Bastante empolgação.
How are you? Good night, everyone. How are you? Excellent. We're gonna begin in 10 minutes. So make use of the 10 minutes to network and get to know each other. Speak a lot about Boosteroid, how much you guys play. For those who don't play, please sign up and make use of this moment. We'll begin officially. We're just waiting for some people to participate.
Really
and
low.
They're already on their way. So just another 10 minutes and we'll begin. And once again,
10
good night,
minutes.
everyone.
All right.
I can tell that tonight will be very exciting. Thank you.
Q&A. Chat. Disable.
We're going to start in 10 minutes. We are waiting for one of the participants of the panelists.
Thank you. Because the camera is still being set up, so we don't have any video waiting.
Okay.
Got a rock star
The
right
audio
here.
is okay? The audio?
The audio was okay. People are hearing us. Our people right now for the moment are hearing us.
Not sponsored,
Audio is okay,
of course,
video,
but
they're
is willing to
writing
sponsor.
me all the time. Camera is up. Camera is down. Camera is up. Camera is down.
Oh, now will be on forever. No batteries from the this power, right?
Okay, of course.
Now you can fix it.
I can turn on the camera. Yep. Thank you.
And this camera did not move. Don't move.
Yeah. No. I tried to speak three languages
Because of me, because I'm always.
yeah.
If you need some help, I can help with the camera. If you want to.
Would you be willing to move it around if our host will be running around speaking to the people?
Yes.
You're saying.
You want, let's put the camera on the back.
Anytime now.
Alguma interação com ele, seria bom a gente poder mostrar, né?
Oh, for sure. Oh, absolutely. I'm already out of those. Oh, we've been over that. Check out our S tier rank video.
Здравствуйте. Это я что-то у меня на линии буквально чуть-чуть быстро.
About a couple of weeks ago.
The streaming? Okay, perfect. You have audio?
Yeah, I hope the audio is from the
From this microphone?
1 second.
I'd love to let them know about the audio, but the chat is disabled.
Pode tirar esse daí? Vamos tirar, porque depois a gente vai ter o painel com
Ai,
as pessoas,
perdão,
daí o
desculpa,
vídeo não
deixa eu
aparece.
tirar agora umas coisas. Agora essas coisas estão todas estáveis.
We're gonna get English, Ukrainian, and Portuguese in this.
É o? Ah, é você que ela tá, ele tava esperando.
Should have started now.
Fica à vontade.
Hey, a video and a video. Well, I didn't promote it. Wasn't even sure if I was able to do this. Dirty. Minutes. A lot less they don't get started, that's for sure. Anytime. Yeah, definitely should have started at 6:30. Yeah, I'm not working hard. I'm just sitting here. Could be working on tomorrow's video. Our live stream just shows the flag right now, so. Over here. Dang it, man. Want to drop a hint on what it is? I don't know. I have no idea. Wish I knew. Everything's a surprise, the same as you guys. I have no idea what this presentation is going to be on. Hopefully it's about the new hardware, because that's really all I care about. Right? Oh, video tomorrow. It's about oh wait. Expedition 33. I tested the game on 4 different platforms, and it's interesting. I thought we were going to start. Oh, little quick here to join us.
Yeah, about time. Sorry about that. Got out about 6.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always good. They did not send us snacks.
They didn't send us what?
Snacks. They're
Dumb.
passing out snacks.
That's BS.
It's food before anything. This guy's still taking video.
It's all good. Oh, man. So nothing has started at all? I haven't missed anything?
You haven't missed a thing. That's what I was telling everybody. I should have started at 6:30.
Yeah, probably. I'm expecting them to have very good news because I don't think they would have set this up if they didn't.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. I mean, Friday at 6 is rough.
Yeah. Kind of crazy over there. All the chatting. I can't make out any conversations. I'm trying to eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Oh. Is there anything we can talk about? Because this is boring.
Yeah, I was telling the guys about
de volta,
Kamala's
mais um
video.
recadinho ainda para vocês.
Ah,
A
you'll see.
comida vai ser servida daqui a pouquinho, mas todos vocês podem ir até o salão lá.
I'm sure
They said 10 minutes 20 minutes ago.
everyone can go out and get some salad.
That's okay.
Available. Feel free to
Timing is it's an illusion, right? It is what it is.
No programa, tá bom? Dando início aqui ao evento. Fiquem à vontade, até porque a ideia é que a gente consiga juntar
The idea is for
comida.
us to be able to join food with events, to do what everyone likes, which is to play. Just to play. Excellent. So make yourselves at home.
That needs to be louder.
What's going on the bottom? Show God, yeah.
Hello. Oh.
Oh, well. I had to buy another external for some things, so I'm setting that up while we chat. 4K files are too big, man.
They are very big. Like 20 gigs an hour.
Dude.
Ross. Our returning member, Ross. There's Vlad.
Yeah, I know that guy. I mean, I know the guy walking around here too.
Yeah, Wuthering Waves has the same problem as Delta Force.
Pois é,
NVIDIA made that deal.
Nothing like forced exclusives, right?
Yep.
Testando 2, alô. Testando 2. Beleza?
Melhorou. Pode cantar agora até.
Vamos lá, pessoal. Ó, oficialmente agora, tá, gente? Gostaria de contar com a colaboração de cada um de vocês.
So where is this taking place?
Really asks for everyone's collaboration. Please be very welcome to the first
I can't hear the translation.
cloud gaming meetup from Boosteroid here in São Paulo, which is online broadcast around the world. So
I don't even know how to get it up.
it's an opportunity and a pleasure to be here with you at this great event. Tonight, you are players, those of you who work
Audio.
with technology and partners of the entire industry.
Yeah, I can't.
I am Tuco. Please be welcome to this great event.
That's
Now,
a web,
ask
isn't
you
it?
guys, where are the gamers in the crowd? Say me. I said everyone, not everyone here is a gamer yet. So you're going to be recruited. Where are the gamers in the crowd? Say me. Excellent. So if you're here with us in this great event,
Oh God.
it's a special moment. We're going to share ideas, and we're also going to create connections and make use of the opportunity to.
I'm still not getting the little bottom.
And why São
Chat.
Paulo? Repeat it. And why São Paulo? And why São Paulo? Exactly, because Brazil is one of the most passionate gaming markets, and that is the most growing in the world. Does that answer the question? Yes. This event has the
Yeah, we don't have control over this audio, do we?
Yeah, I wish I did.
Boosteroid is here,
This is a bummer.
and this is the opportunity.
I can make it
This
louder.
community of players who are you, leaders.
Yeah, see if you could boost it. We're gonna get more background noise, but at least we'll hear the dude.
So before we begin, I would like to make a few announcements. First announcement for you. It's important to remember that we have our photographer here. Those of you who anyone hasn't taken a picture yet, everyone took a picture? All right, so please remember to use hashtag Boosteroid Brazil. So for those who haven't posted yet, hashtag Boosteroid Brazil, use it, abuse it, tag us so we can share it as well
Is that better?
and confirm that you guys
They increased
participated
the
in
volume.
this moment in history. I'd also like to
I pumped my volume up
the Boosteroid
on my
team
headphones.
here with us.
So far, hashtag Boosteroid
We have
Brazil. I
Vlad
haven't heard anything else that matters
Osman.
yet.
Please give him a warm welcome applause. We have Olya Podrezova. She's here.
Oh yeah, and Vlad are there. Cool.
Also Max. Where are you, Max?
Where's Max?
Max was doing
Maxie. Please, a big hand of applause to him.
There he
That's
is. He's
a
doing
pyramid.
tech.
The objective tonight is to go up until 10 p.m. We have plenty of time. We're going to have a great conversation. For those who are online on Zoom, please stay tuned because we're taking up comments. If you have any questions and if you want to ask questions during the panel, leave us your question and then we'll go over your questions.
Okay.
You guys as well.
Uh,
When we have the panel,
chat disabled.
questions,
QA.
There you go.
There we go.
we'll be able to interact with you.
You got QA.
You can ask questions
Can
and get to know
you
the Boosteroid team
increase
and make use of this opportunity that
volume?
they're bringing to us. We have
Specify of the English translation.
special guests, so let's take use of this moment to talk about translation. There are a lot of people here who are going to help us with the translation if necessary. The important here is that this is an important moment that Boosteroid is saying hello, we're here with you, so you can say the same. Is everyone prepared? Yes? Excellent, excellent. So, we're going to do the translation. We're going to have translation and we'll make best use of this tool that's transforming and will continue transforming Brazil and Latin America. All right, so I would like to do the roll call of our first speaker to open the event. He has a central event in building the presence of Boosteroid globally, especially now in Brazil. He's in the company since the first day, since the beginning. He leads development, he leads business, he deals with strategic partnerships around the world, and he's helped pave this important path in this international movement. So, and thanks to him, we are all here. So I would like to invite, so we can have his initial words. He's the corporate vice president of Boosteroid.
That's me, right?
Yes, that's you. Da Boosteroid vai trazer as boas-vindas oficiais.
Please welcome. He's going to welcome each of you. Please give a warm welcome. Vlad Kosman.
Vlad is back.
Yeah. It's good to see him. Good
Yeah,
dude.
I'll grab one. 1, 2. Yeah. Hi guys, I will be speaking English. I landed just today in the morning, so I had no time to learn Portuguese. Sorry. I'll be speaking English, and like first and foremost, it's really, really great to see everyone here, the community, our customers, our partners, all the guests, everybody who is here. It's really great to see you. And it's the first time we're having the Boosteroid Cloud Gaming Meetup, and it's the first time, and it's in Brazil, and that's for a reason. Today, when I landed in Brazil, I had a very little and pleasant experience of crossing the border, and the officer checked my passport, and then he looked in my eyes, smiled, and said, "Welcome to Brazil." And this is something that officers do not really do very often. And I could really feel that, I'm in Brazil. And this is how Boosteroid feels, being in Brazil, providing our service to all of you guys. And Brazil is in our top 3 markets right now. It's very huge and it's growing very fast. And we launched just several months ago. So it's just the beginning of the journey. You know, gringos up there, they have 6 or now 8 data centers across the United States. In Brazil, we are only in São Paulo right now, but it's going to change very soon. We will open up more data centers, more capacity in existing data centers. And yeah, we really feel like we are together with all of you in this journey, right? We grow together, we learn together how to be better, how to, you know, run this business and run this service in a way that is the best and the most beneficial for you, and you get the level of cloud gaming that you really deserve. And yeah, once again, thank you very much for coming, and I hope we'll have a great time today. We'll have a panel discussion, very interesting questions, very interesting people and speakers. So yeah, other than that, I will also share a few updates, and we have the slides regarding those updates. Yeah, so as I've said, our journey in Brazil has just begun. It was planned very long time ago, and in 2022, when we kicked off Boosteroid in the United States, the next step was supposed to be Brazil, but then the war started in Ukraine, where the team is mostly based, so we had to kind of focus on core operations and postpone the expansion. And then in 2024, we kicked off very seriously, and then in 2025, we finally launched our first data center here in São Paulo. And yeah, this is just the beginning. What we will have next is the new architecture, new servers that we will bring already this year. And this is just, I mean, technical stuff. I don't really know it, but you know. The next slide will show
He knows
you why
enough.
this matters. Yeah, this is the before. So what we have today is virtually the best cloud gaming virtual machine on the market. We can stream up to 4K, we can stream up to 120 FPS and full HD, and it's going to be like over 30% better already this year when we deploy new configuration. And it's not only the new configuration, new servers, it's also more capacity. Because as some of you, I think you know, guys, that we had all these issues with the queues, right? Because you'll be really amazed.
Sure
The
did.
number of customers journey was really, really huge. There was an influx of customers that led to those queues. We're fixing this already. We have servers deployed in São Paulo, additional capacity as I speak right now, and we will have even more soon. They're now on their way to Brazil, and yeah, let us look at the next slide. Yeah, so you can check that it's going to be better, more than 20% pretty much with any game. We picked Indiana Jones Call of Duty Fortnite here, but it will be the case with all other games. This is just, you know, to let you know what's coming up very soon. And yeah, what else do we have there?
He said
And
50%.
this is
Whatever.
the last thing before I wrap it up. This is the new functionality we just released, and it's called Boostcast, and it actually allows you to stream, to share your gameplay with everyone
Yeah, 50
by
minutes
just
is
sending them a
crazy.
link. So you send the web link to somebody, and they can basically see what's happening when you play the game on Boosteroid. Sounds like Google Stadia, right? But the difference is that we made it. but it's been some sort of inspiration, of course. And yeah, so this is really great in terms of how people interact with each other while they are playing, how we engage with the community, right? And of course, next step is that you can not only watch how other people play, but somebody drops your link and you can actually play with them, right? This is something, of course, we all have in mind and we'll implement when the time comes. But yeah, just a few updates, and I'll wrap it up. And thank you very much.
Bem claro, né? Que já fez diferença quando ele chegou no Brasil. Quando ele entregou o passaporte.
You saw a difference when he arrived in Brazil, when they saw his passport and everyone smiled at him. What does that mean? Brazilians are different, and we know that. He was planning to come much sooner, but now is the opportunity to bring more features and to say that you guys make a difference by participating in these improvements that they're implementing. And this is the time for us to enjoy their presence so that we can play even more and use these features and do what is needed in order to what I'm certain that all of you like to do. So to continue now, we're going to the discussion panel. I would like to make the initial invitation to
The
our
bottom chat box is wild.
Vlad for the opportunity to build upon this initiative of cloud gaming in Brazil. Everything that we're talking about here, the conversation is going to have us do something better, and it shows that it is proof that they're doing great things. So let's go to the first panel of discussion. Topic: cloud gaming for common big screens for common players. Now, cloud gaming is no longer something exclusive. It's present even in our pockets. So we invited everyone to talk about this here today. I would like to call upon the heavyweight hitters, the Mercedes-Benz in-car gaming technical product manager, Juliana Mandolesi.
In-car gaming.
Yeah. That was you and Hefe, though. I don't know a whole lot.
I wanted to welcome the account director at LG Channel, Renato Citelli. Let's welcome with a warm applause Platform,
Most likely.
Director of Platform Services at Vida, Ricardo Bor. Please get over here.
If you guys got any questions in the chat, just put them in the chat.
And also, let's welcome the Chief Operations Officer at Omelete Company, Otávio Juliato.
Yes, if you guys are new to in-cloud gaming, we did a whole interview with Vlad with that.
All right. And in case you see, we have 5 pictures. Juliana Tadeu, which is head of content at LG, she was unable to be here, so we'll continue the panel with our 4 guests. So once again, the topic is the importance of games in all screens for common game for all players. So welcome, and also who's going to participate with us. Please be very welcome. Thank you for being here and participating in this journey and this first event of Boosteroid. It certainly will make a difference for everyone, not just in Latin America, but also to Brazil. All right? All right, so Vlad will talk a few words for us once again, so welcome.
Oh, dang it.
Yes. Yeah. So before we kick off this, I'll send you. Before we kick off this first session of the panel discussion, I just wanted to introduce the topic and once again thank all our participants. And you are going to like the questions that we will discuss. Basically, cloud gaming has always been about eliminating barriers of how people play, where people play, what equipment do they need, right? And with cloud gaming, you don't need an expensive gaming rig. You don't need to stick to certain platforms, certain operating system. You can play wherever you want. And even in the car, that's why Julian is here. And on TVs and everywhere. And this, of course, is still in progress. And at Boosteroid, we expect over 90% of customers to switch to cloud gaming in the early 30s. And this will impact everything, the community, the customers, how they engage with games, how they engage with platforms that they use, mobile, TV, desktop, and so on. That's why, yeah, we have this first session dedicated to this, and let's kick off.
Ok. Gente, primeiramente a gente vai fazer
All right,
duas
everyone.
perguntas.
So first, we're going to ask two basic
90
questions.
90% is a bold claim.
You know, especially
I don't know how much I believe
for
that, but
gamers, if
they're all in.
So it's a general question for each of you. How often do you play games, and what is your favorite game, if you have one? I play every weekend, League of Legends, and now I work with Boosteroid, so I also play on weekdays, but random games. So now the focus is a lot on Xbox for integration. So I've been playing a lot of Forza. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Can't play League on
He's a game.
Boosteroid.
That's what she
Everyone,
said.
I'm sorry
Xbox.
to all the gamers here, but I think the last game I've played was River Raid on Atari. So I need to evolve a lot, and I hope to learn from you guys and others here. Great. I am a gamer, and I play when my 3-year-old daughter lets me play. So I'm trying to play Cyberpunk, which is a great game. It's hard to be able to have a few hours available, but it's a great game, and I'm
Feel
trying.
that.
Maybe an hour a week. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Vlad, for the invitation and the initiative here. I'm a gamer as well. I don't play as often as I'd like. I've been trying to play monthly, and I'm playing action RPG game called Black Myth Wukong. It's hard.
He said it's
When
hard.
people speak out like that, it means it's good. Do you guys have a favorite game? You talked about Atari, Star Fox.
Yes.
It's my childhood game. Mine was, I think, Golden Axe.
Yes.
Mine was Crash. I would play Crash every day, even weekends.
These guys are our age.
Excellent. Now that we know a little bit more about their habits regarding games, we're going to the questions related to our topic. The first question is for Janae. It's from Janaína of LG. It's a question. Her question is exactly this one. In your vision, what trends are emerging in terms of connected televisions? And how do you develop interactive games now and for the future? I think that's a great question. Like Vlad said, connected televisions nowadays, they play a huge role for us to write history. In that point of view, we have the entire games part and the gaming portal of LG with several games, and we were able to closer to close a partnership with Microsoft, so they can play through LG TVs without accessing the console, and and the sports and other channels and the LG channels available. We have
I had a feeling they'd talk about the competitor.
with free content available for users. So the TV becomes a great entertainment center and of consumption, not just of games, but of content, video, and so forth inside that scope. Excellent. And keep in mind that at the end of the panel, there are questions. If you have any questions that you want to ask them, send us the questions that we'll ask them.
Guys, if there's any
Right,
questions
so the
you
next
want,
question
put them in the chat.
is exactly like it's here. Juliana Mandolesi. Mercedes is outgrowing the limits of in-car entertainment. Nowadays, you can do everything inside a car, and cars even drive themselves. So, what is the role of cloud gaming in that vision? And what do you have in mind for a space to play inside the cars?
Pensando bem assim. Primeiro pensando bem no contexto automotivo, né?
Thinking about the automotive context, people spend more and more time inside the car. So if it's raining, how long do you spend in a car to get here? So for me to get here, I had the car. So I got here at 5 and had to wait until 7 for the event to begin. So we have a lot of convenience with the car. So when we think about transit, traffic, it's a very negative experience. And Mercedes has as a general vision to be a very desirable car, to be the lifestyle that everyone wants. So if,
Well, they're not going to know
if
that.
you
That's
ask someone,
Canada.
well,
I mean, that's the question for Boosteroid, not for these.
what is the lifestyle that you want? Well, I want to spend an hour and a half in traffic to get to work. That's not quite the case. It's to be something surprising. So with entertainment, we've come with the idea that you can do what you could in your living room. So within game, what is that vision of Mercedes? You don't want to play a game that's just for the car and it's just for that environment. No, you want to play what you're playing at home. So
Sorry
if
about that.
Cyberpunk, you want to play should be able to play Cyberpunk in your car. So that's the idea that cloud gaming brings to us, which is great, because instead of adding some heavy hardware inside the car, it's there. We have video streaming, and you can play whatever you want.
Oh, I got a question.
And that's what's great. And we learned what we learned in this journey is that it's not so simple in certain aspects. So
with
there's the cars in movement, and the internet. How do we
in
optimize
the car.
that? Can the internet be good enough? There's also the safety aspect that we were talking about. You know, with airbag, what are you going to do while you're playing? And what if the airbag goes off? You're gonna be
I want to beg you.
Thank
now
you.
Mercedes is the
I
first
can't.
OEM that was able to authorize that with safety, so for you to play and use it with the car in motion. Did you guys know about that? Are you surprised? That's a surprise. Now I just got to get a Mercedes. That's a nice detail. How support cloud gaming, and what does the platform needs to have to help in the introduction to cloud gaming? I think the name of the game is engagement. So we have a vision where the content is the main component and the experience of the connected TV, and that includes games. We're launching Vida Play, which is our gamer environment that's coming. And so in that environment, you'll have an entire dedicated platform to games. You'll have the gaming platforms, you'll have the games, you'll have recommendations based on what you play, based on what you buy. So we bring gaming to the center of the connected television to bring exactly that engagement, to bring more users, for them to begin understanding the value that the TV has in that gaming environment, that you no longer need a console. You have everything there. You connect a controller or connect your phone, and you have access to a wide array of games in the middle of your living room. So for us, the games, it's in the middle of the strategy, is the center of the strategy at Vida in the next few years. Excellent, everyone. For those who don't like to leave your house and like to game, when you leave, you'll have gaming in the car, and when you get back, you'll be able to game the TV. So you'll have everything you want to do what you like. And for those of you who do that professionally, it's great to highlight that. And now, Otavio, cloud gaming brings games beyond its traditional audience, making it easier for everyone to play, especially casual gamers like myself. And in that context, even people who don't game, how will non-core audience blend with geek and hardcore gamers, or they won't? Great question.
Eu acho, a gente está agora.
I think that in this week we have the expectation of receiving several visitors who are coming over to celebrate games and gaming culture, the culture of gaming and being connected in a community. And there's a keyword that I think they mentioned here. It's related to games, which is community. Community is the base of everything nowadays. Not just for games, but
I can't.
other territories. So for those who remember and who
Not how we usually do news, buddy. This is like
of around the last 20
Nope.
to 30 years, we
you
began
try to be quick and to the point.
culture
You're not being quick and to the point.
pressing of the term nerd back then, and then the term geek, which is a more.
They're trying to be chill, though.
But what was always behind engagement was this possibility of you finding peers and feel like you belong to that, like you belong to that community, you belong to that place. And I think
God.
now with all the cloud technology, it democratizes that even more. It removes
God, the Washington.
it's hard.
Is that like an AI translator that's just like going haywire?
Man.
And for people who wanted to feel like they are part of that, they had difficulty entering that because they don't understand, they don't know that there's no money or so forth. But now they can have access to the content, they can be inspired by those stories, and they can tell other people, so they can share a little bit of that. And I think that in the end, it's something positive because it grants more access and it democratizes access for people to discover content, for them to discover entertainment.
That'd be wild.
And certainly they'll discover
that'd
other
be
things
wild.
there as well. Especially how to find a place to celebrate that with their peers. So I think our role as organizers was always to look at and try to
Starting up
create
again.
moments for people to celebrate together. In the
Oh,
gamer and
man.
geek communities, we're
This
always
would have been rough,
an
man.
important part of that.
That would have been really rough.
Yeah.
And
It's already
nowadays,
rough.
saying you're a nerd is a
It
good
is
thing.
rough.
Back in the days, you couldn't tell people you were a nerd. So it's a differential, and it's something important for the community.
I mean, they're not wrong. Boosteroid's the most gamer of all these companies that are these big ones. But
As
like,
the in-car gaming evolves, what opportunities are exploring to make gaming even more immersive and seamless inside a Mercedes? That's a big one. People talk a lot about being in a gamer world. First of all, it's the sound system, which is already great in the car. So some of you have headphones or have a home theater sound system in your home to play with, but the car is isolated acoustically. It's closed. There's an entire sound system. The sound boxes are in the right position for that, and that's where it starts. You can start gaming in the car, and that acoustic isolation is great. People listen to podcasts inside their car or record it there. Yeah, you feel great. You're playing a racing game and you feel the engine of the game. You feel that emotion.
I mean, it's really cool, but
die in a game,
the amount of
your heart starts beating faster.
people watching this that are going to buy a Mercedes and play Boosteroid in it is
just like that.
not a high
And
percentage.
beyond all of that,
We'll
we
see.
have other systems
But it is really cool.
that are integrated
It
with the
is
sound
cool.
system, which is the lighting
Right.
and the seats. So the lighting, we have an LED system in the entire car, in the door as it in the front, and some of them react with the sound. So if the sound is calmer, there will be less intensity, and as the game speeds up, and that changes and it becomes more intense or bright. And the seats as well, there is vibration, and depending on the game at the moment. So I don't know. Maybe you're there playing Need for Speed. You're playing calmly. You're driving through Miami, but then you go to a police chase, and then it becomes more intense and more intense, and the entire car is motivating you to keep adrenaline, at top levels. It's great.
I'm trying to figure out
It's
what's
great way to use
translating.
sound systems in cars. Yeah, and we were in the European Gamescom, so in Germany. So if you're going there in August, you could go there and find us, and we could talk there as well. Great, thank you. Now, Renato,
Put it in the
TV
detail first.
is now
Let
a
go
console-free
talk.
gaming rig. How cloud gaming impacts LG's roadmap for smart TV innovation and platform development. I was listening to Juliana's speech, and it's a good thing that we're going to need to start driving more. There's so many things happening already, but what was said, LG's platform today, it's confirmed. You no longer need to use a console, but rather the connected television. And I want to give you guys two updates. Today, with internal LG data, we see 50% consumed inside the television is already done inside the web OS, which is the LG operational system. So half of the time of the gaming is already done in the connected TV, and we should confirm that information as well with the operational system. So we had a very big shift in the standard of consumption, and today connected televisions is an important part of people's homes. So gaming is everything that we know about, that we talked here, that it's a community. We have 16 million screens in Brazil.
I can't take this thing at the bottom seriously.
No. It's a sermon.
That was going to accelerate consumption.
They clearly put a lot of work in this, and they're trying to do their presentation, but
the reaction of LG's platform focused in services rather than hardware. I think that's a big point. Excellent, thank you. Now let's go to Ricardo. Once again, how do you see the smart TV OS evolution as more advanced services like cloud gaming become mainstream? What's next for Vida? I think that it's a little bit of what I said. We're bringing Vida Play. So we see cloud gaming. Me personally, I see it as the next big thing of connected televisions. So I think that the trend is growth, exponential growth. So the more we can integrate these experiences with connected televisions, the faster that advancement will happen. So we see it. We want to deliver that content with the best way possible, in the way that's the fastest possible and more intuitively as possible, and work like that, not just with games, but also But streaming content, linear channels, I call everything content. So we have that same bias for all the content. We want to deliver content in the
Nope,
best way
nothing
possible
about updates or
for
anything like
consumers,
that.
for end users.
The
like
last
I said,
update was mostly bug fixes.
There's no
I think it was
game as
1.9.23.
the next big thing
Nothing big.
of
Yeah,
TV. So we're investing heavily
and
in
then I think they
engagement
made the
and bring this
poor
very
connection
rich
pop up
experience
less annoying. Nothing
inside
crazy.
for your TV. All right. Now the last question. There are several questions here to ask you, and for those who are online,
It's pretty stable though,
guys
so I'm
have
guessing the bugs that they're fixing
send
are
it to
pretty
us, and
minor.
we'll ask them shortly. So, good afternoon. The younger generation of gamers have games as their favorite content. How will media adapt their strategies for that? So today we know that Gen Z and Alpha are I saw something that says that this audience, almost 90% of them prefer gamified experiences and immersive experiences. They're more tuned to that type of experience. I think it's a little bit of that outlook. We evolved from an event type that before were just aimed at a local experience towards an event model that is concerned about the entire journey, that cares about the experience is not just inside the event in a more in-person way. So we analyze KPI events. We don't just look at the number of visitors. We're going to look at it as a great media project. So, and the differential is it materializes that experience. It brings something that might be hard to replicate elsewhere, and I think combining these two things is what's going to. It needs to be under the outlook of an event organizer, and I'll give you an example. Now we have a competitive stage of the MK11 Mortal Kombat, and now the championships happen in that event. So you might have a few hundred people there cheering for their competitors. For the first time in history, we'll have a championship of that type inside the max.
Props to the translator, by the way.
And giving
For
more
real.
to people who are there. So that combination of emotional connection that the event generates, that is very
Our audio guys,
for
cool.
you to replicate in other platforms, but with the reach of that matter of being able to bring that content to people, that makes it special. And obviously, you can boost all of that together. And we try to include inside the events other types of on-topic experiences. Usually, what sort of experiences do gamers
Subscribe to the
seek inside
channel.
events? Maybe
like, share, and subscribe for more riveting content.
User inside the
Like
card
and
that
subscribe.
they have
I'm sorry.
to have
I should be more respectful.
house.
I know. It's
How do you think about that in a
it was
larger
tough. It's
scale
tough.
for an
It's tough.
event? And how do you deliver that sort of experience? And these experiences, these physical experiences, they have that power. I have a 13-year-old son, it's been 13 years since I've been trying to convince him to cheer for my team. I'm not going to say the team here out loud, but well, I just can't. For the first time,
It will do. Boom.
13 years, I was able to take him to a match. What happened? So he started cheering for that team. So the emotional experience, it impacts you.
If I can increase this.
And there's an American researcher that says that people will never forget how it made them feel. So by feeling that, they'll remember that their entire lives. And the role of the event is a little bit of that. Is to materialize some of the things that we see on screen, and we materialize that in person.
Oh,
And
wow.
the combination of those things, that's a winning combination. It's really great. Excellent.
It's cool though.
Can you let us know the team? No, it's Corinthians. Corinthians is the team.
All right.
At least they're all having a good time. Everyone's smiling.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone is invited.
I wouldn't mind being there, to be honest. I got some
Now we're
food out
going
of
to
it.
open up to questions from the crowd. I want to know
Snacks.
from everyone here. Does anyone would anyone like to ask a question? Please raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone to you. So we'll start with those who are already close to make it easier. So tell us your name. Hello, my name is João Vitor. In general, what do you think that in a few years, cloud gamers is going to overcome the arena?
The arena?
Well, let me begin.
I'm not sure.
Probably to
that
take
me,
over. That's probably
as
what
a
he
gamer,
means.
I think I have an interesting view about that. I have a certain limit at home. I have a gaming rig at home, so I think we're very close to that. Very close. However, we start talking out loud 50, 90, more or less. It won't take long. I think the doors are opening towards that for us to have that experience of high-end PCs and really to be able to take the entire gaming experience to the cloud and for connected TVs as well. I think that's going to happen, but it depends on how we tackle that.
So, also, they said they expect in the next few years
90%.
90%.
Very
But
localized. So, for example, Brazil,
well, they said by the 30s,
very
About the
expensive.
30s.
so 5 years.
Salary compared to your salary, I think will be one of the first countries in which cloud gaming
So, what can we summarize from what we've learned so far?
Well, wait.
to focus. Like other countries as well, like India, but other countries like United States, Germany, Korea. There is a lot of strong professional gaming. I think that's going to take longer, especially for those who really play professionally. For those who like it, and also depends on the gaming category. So if you look at an FPS, it's going to take much longer. But if
At
you
least
look
they're
at
honest.
a racing game, that's going to be much faster.
She knows.
She
And
knows.
you have stable connectivity. Even if you have lag, you're used to lag, and you'll just
I appreciate the honesty.
Uh-huh.
react a little before, or so you get used to it, and it's automatic. So that would be my vision. I think just to complement, there's a lot of issues of infrastructure. We talk about online video, which is something that is already old. Everyone consumes it through their mobile and so forth. talking about São Paulo, but in Brazil, in other areas, there's other realities that are not so involved. So there is an acceleration. There could be an acceleration of that process. Just to give my thoughts, you all spoke very well. I think that the trend is it's a positive curve towards that. I think the adoption will change because there are economic issues and all the other things that we talked about, the type of game, and I think adoption is different for each country. It's something worth saying is the experience. If you get the adoption of wide scale streaming, they created the experience. It might be valued, but it might be being valued by another type of crowd. When we talk about technologies, but there's also the matter of experience. Maybe the PC gamer wants to be ahead of the structure, and there is that feeling behind that. That's part of the experience as well. Maybe the adoption for that group will be different than the adoption by other groups who have more convenience to play and have more options. But I believe, but I believe yes. Good evening. My name is Paulo. I am a game developer and I have a studio here in São Paulo. My question is for Renato. I would like to
from
know
São
if
Paulo.
there is something directly for. There's a direct path for developers to place their games in the LG store or not, or how can I place my game there for people to consume through cloud gaming? If there's a direct path for that. The second part of the question would be: is there any sort of
Steam.
strategy to diversify the products that are displayed other than the AAA games that we know there's a big audience? But will there be a space for developers to look at that platform as a potential option for being discovered and for the games to achieve reach out to more players?
It's an interesting question
And let me see if I
because
can
they generally put the most popular games on first, as opposed to games that are trying to use this as a
border of
vehicle to become popular.
development. When we talk about port games inside the LG gaming portal, there's a way that is being done nowadays, which is new.
If they get that process they were talking about where the games just go up automatically, then yeah. But
research
that hasn't been
to see about
that hasn't been done yet.
game. So
I'm hoping.
LG App Store, usually we have more than 2,000 apps. It's huge, and that's all managed by a central. So there's a part of evaluation of that app or that game that takes months of work to approve and to make it work inside the OS, because it's usually a closed environment. You're not talking about an open environment. I think that the weird thing about your question is, in a close future, this should evolve towards other ways to open up the system. The operational system, which is proprietary, like Vida, just like Tizen from Samsung. They're not open systems in terms of development. So it takes a little longer to get there, but I think that the path in the future needs to be that one. We need to democratize the entrance of new players. I don't know if any one of you others have anything to add. I think it's exactly like that. They're complex developments, and they require a lot of
It's complex.
infrastructure from the game developer. Because for them to add game to the platform, there's the entire integration, there's the evaluation of the game and so forth, which is something that could begin happening in the future. Hard to say. to have. It's hard to have a standalone game from a developer inside the platform like that, but I think it could happen in the future. I think it's a path that really could
So
reality.
are they saying, standalone game? They mean no Steam. Is that what they're trying to talk about?
Here,
Like Stadia.
available during the dinner for
Yeah.
you to ask them things and ask
Maybe I could see
into
like
network and
Boosteroid's not set up to be a store or
Again,
a vehicle to deliver games, though.
Not now.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right. Milo and I hold the fort down. All right, let's see where they're going next.
So for those of you who haven't gotten the salad and all the food outside, feel free to go there. There's meat as well. Feel
The hospitality is real, guys.
whatever you'd like to eat and participate in this moment with Boosteroid. We have a very rich and special conversation by innovating orders. A lot of people asking online about the car. People are curious about the car.
You want to go, bud?
So we'll have here in the second panel about the outlook of gaming in the cloud. So thanks to all the panelists and everyone who participated with us.
I'll switch the angle.
Our next panel has the topic of boosting cloud gaming to a scalable structure and smarter partnerships. So,
all right, let's see where they're going with this.
So what happens behind gaming and more about the infrastructure and also necessary partnerships to have fast and trustable experiences. So to continue with our next panel, we'd like to bring up the participants. He's the head of marketing at Latitude.sh, Victor Chia.
Victor
Oh,
Chia.
it's you. Nice to meet you. Please, a round of applause to Victor.
Let's see what his deal is.
It's great to be here, be able to eat and interact, but please participate with us here as well, because the information that we get from each of you will make a difference. So, Vito, we also have Finks Lee, director at ASUS. So please give
Jesus?
a round of applause. And he's corporate vice president at Boosteroid, Vlad Kaufman. So please give him a round of applause.
I have a Asus rep.
So our topic,
Vlad,
boosting
Latitude,
cloud gaming for scalable infrastructure and smarter partnerships. Welcome. Vlad will be one of our panelists now. He won't just give us a lecture. He's going to participate in this conversation with us. So welcome to everyone. We have the first question.
So I think Latitude.
First question is for Victor. Welcome, Victor. As a cloud infrastructure provider, how are you approaching the demands of online latency?
Yeah, they provide the infrastructure. I was going to say, I think they handle
like cloud gaming.
servers.
What's different about building for this space versus traditional cloud workloads? First of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
everyone looking at me,
Victor.
please pay attention to me. Go ahead. Who can hear me? Say me. All right, great. So here, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. Talking specifically about your question, when we talk about traditional computing, there's traditional scalability you get an app that requires a lot from the server. There are millions of people who are accessing, so it needs to be scalable to make the experience good for everyone. In cloud gaming, that also happens, but it's not the main thing. The machine processors, also the servers need to be connected with a good cloud network infrastructure.
Right.
So it's like in our house, our devices are connected to our provider. The same thing is happening at the server with the cables connected. If the server is not so good, the experience is compromised. So it's
A lot of general education here about just how
computation
things
wise,
work at a basic level.
network availability. Excellent, thank you. Now, Sphinx, questions for you. ASUS operates across multiple layers in the gaming stack, from consumer devices to servers and connectivity solutions. What role does cloud gaming play here? Thank you for this great opportunity. Cloud gaming
Yeah, very similar to our last little video here. Very basic.
to connectivity and servers. So Boosteroid to collaborate with ASUS in terms of servers that are more advanced to ensure the experience for gamers with a low latency and to be able to offer high gaming quality, the images and the graphics. So these servers are capable of handling streaming for the games.
Maybe a little bit before Black Knight gets back. We're getting some crazy storms up here, and he may not be returning for a little bit.
And so that the game can support the resolution.
Sounds like he's running into an issue. Not with his internet,
All
with
of that, I think it's
the environment.
we are able to offer access to game with great quality for them to play. Excellent. Your Portuguese is great.
Oh.
She was able to speak Portuguese with us, so thank you. Now,
Cool for her.
this is being translated to him, the questions. So, what is the proper way to address cloud gaming infrastructure deployments across huge countries like Brazil?
There was a little delay. I was listening to the translation. So Brazil is a very huge country. It's like the entire continent, right? And we have some experience of deploying in large countries like the United States. Probably that's it. And Brazil, of course, requires multiple points of presence. That's what we're working on, and that's what we will deploy already this year. And going to 2026, we will have more points of presence. So the key thing is latency, right? So you need to be close to the end customer, close to each and every one of you, regardless of where you are. And this depends on kind of the networking landscape, how internet service providers are interconnected, many things like that. That's why that's a very big part of what we do with our data center partner, right? To make sure that we have great connectivity, make sure we have the very, very close path to
The auto translator is doing way better with Vlad.
I guess
Not getting any awkward messages
big
this time.
country, so points of presence, and of course, like operation logistically, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's definitely worth it because as I
I was expecting kind of a formal announcement for
us, so we're
like a real time frame on all the improvements in Brazil with this meeting. It's been very just basic information.
Brazil is a huge country, so people know that
Brazil is
there
huge.
needs to be work on that, and they're working to be closer to the end clients, to be able to reach the 27 states, to cover all the distances between several cities. The distance is very big, so working on that infrastructure is a little bit takes a lot of effort. So they're doing that to be closer to us, and so you can all access an even better service. All right, so our next question is for Victor once again. Victor, how do you test infrastructure for gaming specific workloads, and what makes that testing different from enterprise applications? Talking specifically about games.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Ross, man.
I
That's
think
just how it is.
it's one of the things that I'm important for gamers. You just mentioned that
Brazil is always going to be a right place for cloud. So many gamers, and
you need to
they're
be
more receptive to cloud than other places,
not just the physical aspect,
specifically
but the way
my
that
own
we're
country.
present physically. We are here at the restaurant, and we're physically close to the airport. If we need, it doesn't matter if I'm close. If I don't have a road to get there, the road to go to the airport, there might be a huge roundabout. So it's the same thing. If it's not a matter of just having connected.
Most of my interactions with Brazilian gamers were either in World of Warcraft or
connect
League of Legends.
Connect in ways that are efficient to reach people. So the servers, they're protected at hardware level and software level. There are several layers that Boosteroid is protected from attacks. Excellent. So
it's any kind of security that's going to prevent DDoSs or other attacks is good for us as gamers. There's plenty of services out there that don't take nearly enough actions to protect them. The bigger Boosteroid gets, the more likely they're going to get targeted by things.
Brand with products casual players use for gaming. Which group would be fundamental for your gaming strategy? Our microphones are having issues. Hello? Can everyone hear me? Is it better now? Should I ask the question again? I'm going to ask again then about Asus.
Let's see what they have to ask about Asus.
So Asus is a central core gaming brand with its ROG and a mainstream brand with products casual players use for gaming. Which group would be fundamental for your gaming strategy?
I used to always buy Asus motherboards, but that's a used to.
Speak very loudly. I think all the game groups are important for Asus, but the mainstream groups are fundamental for scalability and growth.
It is a lot easier to use the Boosteroid app on a Rogue Ally than it is
For the internal
on
market,
Jack.
the mainstream gamers, in the gaming market here in the Brazilian market, still like that. I think that by offering more accessible products and with good quality, that's important. And for us is to be able to grow a base with loyalty, that's in the beginning for the gamers. So a lot of these players, they like to a more advanced experience. So that's why we have the ROG lines, the Republic of Gamers. It's a more premium line. So I think that we try to understand how to integrate innovations to the market, and we want to complement the gamers' journeys. We want to offer an experience with more accessibility.
Yeah.
Be more connected.
In my youth,
gamer universe.
Asus was
Thank you.
Hands down the best for gaming motherboards.
So everyone, once again, prepare.
We'll just say others have caught
questions.
up in
We're
the
going to
meantime.
open up shortly for questions. For those who didn't ask last time, be prepared because I'm going to take it to you guys. Our last question for Vlad: why don't you just use the public cloud and deploy all over the world right away?
That is a terrible idea.
And that's the question of basically heard many times from many people. But the truth is, like, you do have public cloud, right? That's available all over the world, and you can deploy based on the public cloud and open up
specific hardware, costs you need to be able to control stuff.
The problem that we had, and we discovered it back in 2018. Right before we went to ASUS, that fixed this problem. Was that public cloud is not really high-end enough to support AAA gaming. So
it does not have the hardware for this.
Something like lower end, casual games, family-friendly games, that could be a good option. If you target AAA games,
don't want to play Stardew Valley, we can do the public cloud.
Public cloud just doesn't have instances powerful enough to do that. You cannot stream 4K, you cannot stream FPS.
Absolutely.
Another thing is that you don't really have those support.
The thing with Boosteroid is they're one of the only places that are actually meeting GeForce Now certain aspects.
It's literally one of the
nobody else is even close, but Boosteroid has got a couple of
public cloud providers, as you all know. And so we had to address the hardware issue directly, and what makes us a good gaming company, I hope you guys is that we are a good hardware.
I think my sub pump went.
Oh, that'll explain that.
My basement almost flooded right now, so thankfully it
Yeah, I
stopped.
didn't tell them what happened. I did tell them that you might not be back. They just asked why not just use public cloud services and deploy all over the world right away, which is maybe the most terrible idea I've ever heard. Sorry.
We deliver virtually the best cloud gaming VMs on the market. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Boosteroid's main advantages are no gaming limits, being gamer centric as far as their leadership is. They're not a publicly owned company, so it's not like they have to squeeze every dime out of you at every moment, like corporations legally are required to. And then the game library. Game library is huge. But hardware to hardware, They're the only ones really in competition at this level at the moment.
About the ROG product, and currently you have the portable computer, the Asus ROG Alive.
Okay, yes.
I don't know if any of you saw our tier list video, but
with an integration with Boosteroid and other cloud gaming services as well.
I think from Asia's point of view, we are welcome, like to have more cooperation with Boosteroid. So I think in the near
she's speaking
future,
English now. She was doing Portuguese earlier.
And about our
The little translator bot works way better in English,
to have some integration with Boosteroid
Yep.
in the future.
but it has some strange things to say when you're not speaking English, I see.
Yep.
They're probably going to be a little.
Yeah, Luna's lineup is their biggest weakness.
Question.
That and they
First one that I have is,
don't quite reach the heights of display and stuff that the other services do
Yet.
And
yet.
right now, we're suffering a lot of the queue time that we're having.
With Amazon, you always got to keep an eye on them because they don't like to just quit like Google does, but they're also gonna. I guess they don't like to be in last place either. Like they're gonna want to push to compete. If they're gonna stay in the game.
American countries like Chile, Uruguay, etc. Or I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely going to do that. But first of all, we need to have proper presence in Brazil. We need also São Paulo, other points of presence. So that's kind of the very first thing that is on our road to cover Brazil.
I'm really surprised that this meeting is set up without them having all the new server stuff like ready to go. They're still saying stay tuned, which is I was expecting this to be like, hey, this is our victory dance. We got everything set up, but that's not the case.
Nope.
Latin America.
Still, it's really expensive. I can't knock them, but I wonder if they missed their estimate and this was supposed to be like for them.
In terms of like everything.
Stadia needed to adjust their marketing, and Stadia needed to adjust what their attitude towards bring your own games. I think was really hurtful to them. You know, Stadia's hardware was there, their tech was great, but when you put it up against, when you're trying to coax gamers to play on a PC, telling them that they can bring their own library is such a huge draw. I really think that Stadia's strategy was just flawed from the start.
So you plan to expand your overseas?
Well, it's a gradual thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay. But do you also plan to have a more diverse?
I think if GeForce Now wasn't going and it was just Boosteroid, Stadia would still be around.
I don't know.
Because it took Boosteroid a little bit longer to get their foothold.
Have to take local currency for subscribing to Boosteroid.
But Google never wants to be number 2
Definitely going to have this. And,
or 3 in this case.
Work already with some local payment methods. We try to integrate them very soon so that there is not only the support of the local currency, but also credit card free payment methods that are super popular in Brazil. And I know that for a big number of
This is all good info for the Brazil populace. Getting these services paid for.
how you can pay with cash or prepaid cards, things like that. So
I wonder if any Brazilians are watching our stream or if they're just going to watch it raw.
And
They're probably watching Boosteroids.
I would too if I was them,
for customers to subscribe.
since we're so primarily English.
Yeah. Yes, it was quite the chunk of change for Stadia.
Any more questions? Does anyone else want to ask anything? Right.
Oh, I just really hope that Boosteroid doesn't bobble this by taking too long to get things set up. We know there's a couple competitors coming for him in Brazil.
Ask a question to Sphinx from Atos. I want to know if developing consoles with
More
cable
than one way to play.
cloud gaming,
Nice.
or is it only on cloud gaming? Our a roadmap that is in a roadmap, but we don't have any launch.
Is Ron's number correct? I don't actually know how much money.
I could think about.
It was multi-million. I'm not sure if it was 20, but it was.
It was over $1 million. I know that, but I don't know how much they actually paid.
It's a secret
to
for
get
now.
those,
It's in the roadmap, but they can't reveal
get
anything.
Get that Rockstar money.
So,
There's nothing on Boosteroid California servers.
Thank you for
hopefully that guy in blue might tell us more.
Maybe.
Thank you.
I don't think so, though.
No, he's going,
Everyone,
he's going
please
away.
leave the microphone on the table.
I was hoping
So
they would announce
continuing,
something, but
now we're going to open it up for questions.
Okay, question time.
Now,
you got any good questions for him?
Questions are for the Boosteroid team. The Boosteroid team that we have here, Vlad, who answered a few questions already. We have Olya from the.
Can't really ask about when the servers are going to be live because they just keep saying stay tuned. They're not going to answer that. They would have said something if they knew. So that's not a great question.
I'm thinking that too.
To make it easier to know what is everyone's role at Boosteroid, and if you want to ask questions, Vlad, like you said, is corporate vice president.
Right? I want some.
Olya,
Latitude SH. Yeah, I was trying to look up their deal.
Chief design officer.
Yeah, they're just a server infrastructure company, not just
there in the corner. He's the PR lead.
They were doing a lot of just low-level explanations. Like it felt like that Microsoft video we were watching a while ago. Talking about
to ask questions
where the signals go and
you want to
how it works.
The Boosteroid team. You can come over here, you as well, Maxime.
Question for Boosteroid team.
I like Vlad and everybody's little Secret Surface earbuds they have.
Yeah, I know. I see it. You're right.
That's it,
Specific for the Boosteroid team, like I told you, you have the opportunity so you can ask to each of them.
Some of that food is looking baller, though.
I know.
I'm thinking about getting me some something.
I think they're at a Brazilian steakhouse, though, which would make sense.
Yeah. Oh, man. If they keep this up, we're going to have to do an impromptu cloud gaming battle business dinner.
Stop the volume. I have a low speaker. Hello, let's start. I'm watching the YouTube channel.
Let's start talking about the YouTube channel.
YouTube channel that's not games.
Projection to adapt the currency and the subscription in Brazil from euro. I believe it's euro still, right? To be around the Brazilian real. So,
yeah, definitely, that's the plan. And the thing is that kind of we launched because there was great need for us and for Brazilian customers that Boosteroid is available here. And there are certain things that we still keep localizing, like the currency, right? And definitely we will have the local
dealing with
currency here. And
the different currencies, the different infrastructures, the different laws, the different financial rules. That's got to be everywhere. You got to have a guy for every place.
Did you all hear that? They have the platform. It's in euro for now, but they have the intention of having it done
Oh, sorry.
local currency, reais or local currency. So let's go to another question. Let me see here.
Ron, what is your ping in Washington from California
Two questions,
or
actually.
wherever you live?
Vlad's at 20.
Yeah.
There's a really cool partnership with Xbox and Microsoft.
I don't think that's the right ping,
I'm
though.
just curious what our guy has to say, though.
Develop
Yeah, me too.
apps for consoles because there are a lot of games that use the browser service. And the second
We
question,
got a couple guys down there, notably Battle Darts, but
plans
it'd
do you
be
have?
interesting to know who else is
Do you have
around.
plans of creating like a double subscription, like two people paying for a single subscription or something like that?
Yeah, definitely we have a great partnership with Microsoft, and we're very excited to bring all those nice games to Boosteroid. And regarding the app for console, we are currently the plan is to stay the PC gaming real, right? But we understand that there is a demand for console gamers to kind of use cloud gaming as well. And
Getting on a console would be huge for them. Notably
behind those sort of virtual machines.
Notably not the Xbox, though. As terrible as that sounds. Microsoft's not going to be as interested in sharing that space. Whereas
They already have a deal with them,
This
though.
may happen in the future.
they do. But it makes you wonder if they could get on a Switch or a PlayStation, it would be even wider. But that's dangerous to try when you're already working with one organization.
Things like that. Because, Netflix, you can have up to...
You gotta just trust that the TV apps will carry you, I guess.
That's kind of the custom thing for VOD, for streaming, right? And we're thinking about that.
I think the Switch would be more of a game changer, though.
We've been around for
That's more like a deck or a Rogue Ally where you don't need a TV to play.
We're still exploring what should we do with, subscriptions, payments, and things like that. How do we engage with the people in the best way possible? So that's definitely being discussed, the shared subscription plan.
That's a very safe answer.
Game Pass and a subscription, Boosteroid subscription would be for what, $20? That'd be pretty cool.
Nice.
That would be wrong.
I'm going to ask in English because I think it's better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nowadays, there are many cloud gaming services available. As a gamer, for me, the Boosteroid has changed much of my gaming routine. I have both a console, but I also have a computer, and having the opportunity to play games that my computer cannot support. Thank you. It's incredible for me. But from now on, what Boosteroid sees as the future for cloud gaming? What's the next step? For us here in Brazil, it's very incredible to have a cloud gaming that's accessible and that we can use with.
I'm waiting for the real question. He's been glazing them for a minute.
But I'm curious to think, what's the next step? I saw updates like the.
Really appreciated that dinner.
But what's the next?
I'm gonna grab a beverage to wake myself up. Give me 12 seconds.
That's a great question. Basically, the roadmap is that what's happening now with video games and cloud gaming is exactly the same with movies and music.
Jeez. It's knocking stuff over.
Yeah, should do it. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So
Hefe's busy all night, isn't he?
with movies and music, right?
Yeah.
The transition
I could have been, but I got out earlier than I thought.
with video games. Just how we watch Netflix, listen to Spotify. This is the way people are going to consume video gaming content in the near future. And that's basically this strategic idea defines the roadmap that we have. So we need to be able to serve every single gamer. Like there is the statistics that we have 3 billion gamers on the planet, people who play at least 2 times per week. And you need to be able to serve 3 billion people, right? That's quite a lot. And that's why we prioritize the infrastructure expansion and kind of making the solution that is both for sophisticated players and casual players, dummies like me, that play, I don't know, once a month, right? And that do not need super great latency numbers and things like that. So it should be both very suitable for the sophisticated player in terms of the quality and the overall performance, but it also should be easy enough for casual gamers and even non-gamers to start using it. So that's kind of the roadmap, that's the plan. To be everywhere physically with our servers, and also to have the service interface ecosystem that is suitable for every type of the customer, every type of the player.
A lot of these questions just come down to the basics. We need the correct hardware, we need time to install it, and it needs to be streamlined for you.
This is stuff we've been hearing for a while now.
And I'm still using Boosteroid, even though I have a game PC.
I wonder what kind of people are at this place that they're asking these questions.
Professionals.
I travel a lot, and it
High end.
I am a primary user of our service, which is why we always have a lot of new ideas. Right now, we currently have
Like my dude's baseball cap.
improvement of our
Who, Max?
service
Yeah.
that are going like 2-3 years in production.
Trying to get a good look at the logo.
It's a Boosteroid hat. He needs to send me that hat. I want that hat.
We can't disclose them.
That is actually slick.
But we're working a lot hoping to do our service because this is our love child. Because we are gamers making a product for gamers.
I like the fork and plate sounds we hear.
This one is working. We can run this one.
People are still pounding that meal.
Hi, I'm Lucas. I work with the YouTube channel Completed. What's up here? And I want to know what the biggest challenge is regarding the marketing plan. Something I can help with. So regarding the marketing plan, what's the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge, I would say, hi guys. The biggest challenge I would say is that our team is from Ukraine. That's Europe. I'm not like I'm implying
Cloud dinner battle.
European, Eastern European. We'll have this.
Steak was looking good.
So we can understand a British person. Like we have some connections. We talk to them. You know, we have trade stuff like that. Italians, even Americans, because we'll learn English to watch the American movies and stuff like that. With Brazil, maybe some soap operas from my childhood or something like that. So whenever I write a message on Facebook group or whatever, for example, I wrote "Hola amigos," something like that, and I'm thinking, will it be okay to say in this particular case, "Hola amigos"? Will they think that I'm too familiar or I'm too close, or is it just okay? So So
Yeah. Lack of familiarity with the culture.
challenge. And that's one of the reasons we're here. Where I can look into your eyes. You can tell me something like how friendly you are to me, because you can be. There are many types of friendly. Like you can be reserved, you can be open. Some people here hugged me. Like it was surprising to me. I was happy about it, but it was surprising. So the challenge is to navigate those. Don't be weird in that way. So yeah. We're trying our best to understand you.
Interesting answer. It's kind of cute.
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Claudio. Bye. 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 I will talk in Portuguese, okay? Vamos lá. Pensando no lançamento agora do preço do Nintendo Switch, já
The launch of the Nintendo Switch and looking at the next generation of consoles,
pensando na próxima geração de consoles depois do PlayStation 5 e Xbox.
Are they going to talk about the price or the platform availability?
Probably platform
it's a
availability.
little pricey for emerging markets like Brazil.
Oh, it was price.
It is a very viable option for you to play with as controlling your TV.
I was hoping Nintendo would get a bloody nose from that price, but judging by the pre-orders here, they did not.
What's going to be up in 2 years in regards to growth markets? What do you guys think for the next 2 years in the next generation of consoles in regards to the marketing growth, the market share growth that you'll have in 2 years?
Next week this new group market. So it's two questions.
I don't want to say that, but yeah, I don't really want to say that out loud, but this is kind of the way we see the market, and many of our partners, including some of the companies that run console business. Consoles are not here to stay in the long term, and
I love Vlad, man. He said it anyway. I love Vlad, man.
So you can TV console free right now, and you can use Boosteroid.
Oh man.
But not a console.
He's giving away industry secrets, dude.
Companies like Microsoft.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
One of the biggest console.
He knew he shouldn't say it, and he said it anyway.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Just had the partner.
That's the best part of this whole thing so far.
A few years back.
Oh man, Vlad's the best.
Sooner or later, they will.
Hey guys, we're here to stay.
Because people buy the LCD, the VIA,
Oh.
Hisense or any other brand, Samsung TV, and you will be able to access thousands of titles, way more than you have on the console.
The one thing
The quality
that I do have to give Nintendo credit for is they sell a console with a screen attached. That is always valuable for families.
To say that they're dead, they're not dead. They're very big. They're huge.
But the other consoles don't do that, and they could get replaced by a cloud service.
And it's specifically also interesting to us to understand what will happen with the next generation, what will be the reception, right?
He said that consoles are not here to stay.
Or
That's his belief, and that's what they're planning for.
All those things.
When you're partnering with console companies, that's not always the best thing to say.
And also because that's our business. And that's a nice question. Strategically, I think cloud gaming is the new console. You can use it everywhere. It's cheaper. You don't have to upgrade it. We upgrade our service.
He's not wrong, but again, you're not supposed to say it when that's your partners. I love him.
It's on our main
Oh.
to help users stop overbuying.
I love that. Love Vlad, man.
to get more.
This is the best interview for that reason.
We could say it all day long. No one would believe us,
No,
but
of course not. But like we can see the future in using more common devices. Even and some devices you maybe never thought to use for gaming.
Props to the person who asked that question, because anytime you get a little extra out of Vlad, it's always fun.
Oh yeah.
Boa noite, meu nome é João Lucas. Minha
Good
pergunta
evening. My name is Jean Lucas. My question is, there were a few gamers, I think, that have been facing a problem that when we play through Steam, there's some games aren't compatible. Maybe can Boosteroid resolve that?
I'm sure they're working on it. You know what? I'm gonna go
VM.
see.
It's the VM.
Usually it's the VM problem. I want to go check if I'll load up Boosteroid and see if my game is still in test mode. Yes, it is.
certo momento que eu tava jogando.
Total War Warhammer 3 is still in test mode. After how many years? I gotta play it and see if they fix that cursor problem.
Have compatibility with the controls. And we need a certain way to achieve compatibility because
they don't have the keyboard.
Did it stop raining over there at least? Because it finally stopped here. It's like light rain instead of the crazy downpour.
I've got the shop back here. After I'm done here, I gotta vacuum some up.
Yeah, I've done that one when I was living in Ridgeville, man.
So we
drained the basement a couple times.
You cannot play with the gamepad because this is not supported by the game developer. That's first.
Ok. Está falando que alguns desses não têm a compatibilidade que não é suportado pelo desenvolvedor.
Now you're probably referring to the games where you can use the controller, but it's not working on Boosteroid.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
There are several reasons.
About knowing Portuguese.
First of all, we do have the compatibility.
The audio is rough on this broadcast.
The PlayStation controller, right? On top of that, we support many other controllers, but if you use Xbox and PlayStation, you're less likely to have issues. That's second.
Yeah, I just bought a new Xbox controller.
PlayStation Xbox, ele tem problemas.
He's saying that he's probably exactly PlayStation next to Xbox.
The best way to get rid of the problem is tell us about the problem.
Max is awesome too.
To be honest, it's probably his device.
To me, everyone has my email, by the way, right now.
That's a great question down there, and that's something that we've been on them for a while about. That was the whole Keystone dilemma. That's the whole
Need time to get
Fire Stick stuff.
Eventually, everything gets fixed.
Smart TVs just have issues dealing with decoding and data. That's always going to be a problem for them.
asking you questions.
I think the convenience of a smart TV being able to just play it out of the box is going to overcome the fact that it's not the best quality.
Yeah.
And the people who really care about that quality are going to buy, you know, a Fire Stick or a dongle or something that can get them that better quality.
You can use
1080p for right now.
While playing on TVs instead of your controller. This is supported with Android TV.
Amen.
So this is unfortunately
25 is still a lot better than 14.
But if you have Android TV,
Hey, they fixed it quick. I can't knock them for it. I was ready to, but they fixed it. Just fixed it quick. And regarding that last question too, Boosteroid supports really high bit rate as well, as long as you just go in the settings and pump it, which I do.
Como é que você deixou claro também que o e-mail dele está à disposição? Você pode falar.
Made it very clear that his email is available and you can speak to him directly, and he'll work on your problem specifically, and he'll bring any solutions necessary in order to help you. I think that makes it easier. I don't know if you have his email. He says his email is available for everyone, so he'll try to help and solve that as needed. All right.
Probably PR@boosteroid.com.
Probably.
Can work together to understand the issue and fix.
Max is he's good to work with.
Support service because our guys are incredibly caring, fast, and happy to help you. Like you can tell them the game you play, the device you're playing on. Like right now we're guessing, and there are people that can help you make the right way.
I'm going on almost 2.5 hours now.
Yeah, it's a long one, my dude.
Hello there, my name is Yanis, and I can say I'm really proud of knowing you, of meeting you here. I can say, by behalf of Brazilian people, that we are very proud of.
I wonder how long the Q&A will go. I mean, this has to be the final part of the event, but we got the best info.
Closing slide up there, so yeah.
We got the best info during Q&A so far.
I know. Per usual, though.
And we expect you to visit as well.
Thank you for your kindness.
We are really grateful for that. I have two questions. One is more related to the services, and another more for hardware. The one related to the services is, since we live in a country that
cool shirt, bro.
100 million people, and you're going to expand your services really well, and we hope for that. Are you planning to Brazilian support team here in Brazil, so you can coach the players here in Brazil? And with this question, are you hoping to expand into another city here in Brazil, for instance, in the Northeast or in the South? So that's the first question. You want to answer that?
I think that's all going to occur once they finally meet the demand where they're at.
Questions, and it definitely makes sense, and we are thinking about that, about the multi-support system and people, and it's just more efficient because our guys are mainly sitting in Ukraine, and of course they have night shifts.
Well, every time they go to a new data center, they spend $10 to $100 million to do it. It's going to take some time. It's more money.
And also hiring a support staff in another country where you don't know and trust the people, like just because you've never met them, it's hard. It's hard to vet somebody for employment when the language is not the same.
It's not
very true.
It's not Europe. It's not anywhere. We have a centralized support, but as we grow also as a company, because right now we have something 120 people in Boosteroid, so it's not a lot. And I think
hey, what are you doing?
There's more people
Get out of there.
in our gaming than we have in our entire company. So definitely as we
Sorry, little dude's up to no good.
as we get more local in Brazil, we will have a local support team, and we're even like, we're testing this in some regions, not the support team to give you contact through the support chat, but people that
I've played Boosteroid on an iPad, but that's because I don't buy it. Thanks a lot.
like managers, things like that.
And I'm sorry for interrupting, but I would like to quick thanks to people helping us. Like we have people helping us to translate, to organize this event, and like this we have people just willing to help on Reddit or other socials. So I heard we're going to go, and I hope we're going to make a better service local for residents.
For the success, because the success is our success as well. Just another question, more hardware related. I love simulation games like driving games and racing games. And I feel that the cloud services, we are not looking for these kind of people, because whenever I test all of other cloud services, not just you, I feel that it's not on the plans to adapt for the driving wheels, for example, because there are a lot of people that love simulation games that are even
Yeah, the iPad might be only 25 because it's what the device might allow.
It's also going to be gated by their, because it's all web-based, right? Like browser-based for iPad.
It might be, yes.
Because they don't want to.
Because it's iOS, yeah.
Because iOS, if they put their app on the App Store, the iOS rules means they get a cut of the subscription fees, which is problematic.
The answer is someday, yes.
Apple's got to have a piece of everyone's pie, bro.
The idea here is, so when you want to do something, you need to do that right. To do that right, so we're focusing right now on partnerships like TVs, some infrastructure and stuff like that. At some point, we will start partnering with companies that do that, because it's just to start doing that, we would need
money limits everything.
Our staff just to start working on that by ourselves. So we need partners to work on that, and even working with partners, we have one here, and so there's so much less time in a year, and he has been doing those.
Why is an Xbox Cloud on Google TV? It's probably because they don't want to pay the bill.
That as well. We will
Simple as that.
It's an inevitable.
Usually.
Just because.
Sometimes it's because they don't want to promote the competition.
That's true too. And knowing Google, they probably bumped it up.
That's right. Yeah. Just push.
There's that. There's also the possibility that, well, no, not with Microsoft's new endeavor. They're trying to just get on everything right now.
Just one thing. This is actually related to another thing, the VR games support, right? And this comes down to both like the steering wheel and any other gaming stuff that is not mouse and keyboard, not the controller. It comes down to integrating this into the virtual machine, which is the remote cloud-based PC where the game is actually running. And this is not trivial, right? This has some technical things that, as Max said, should be resolved together with the
That's an interesting question.
So it's definitely like
My personal recommendation is if you've paid for a Boosteroid sub and you haven't been able to use the service, reach out to their customer support and see if they'll do anything.
So the reason we don't have this is just because.
But that's a good question.
Right? But we understand that even like. For that part of customers that use all these things, or like VR headsets and so on, this will be a very good opportunity to use Boosteroid. So we definitely work this direction.
All right. Thank you very much, folks. Brazil loves it.
Thanks. Oh, sorry.
Few questions.
I might.
Apple TV. An idea for sports.
Might be Monday, might be Tuesday. Actually, got a couple of videos in the pipe.
VR sport. I think it's just questions. TV support. HDR. And power servers in Brazil.
Apple TV. Yeah. Apple TV. Well, we have the application for Mac, and we have both for Mac on Intel CPU and on M1 CPU. So I think it should run on Apple TV, right? You can try it. You can. If you get the Mac app, Mac Boosteroid app on your Apple TV, this should be working. But speaking about the official support, we should be ranking in the App Store, right? And you should be able to download Boosteroid from the App Store on your Apple TV and play. And this will be a great thing to have, right? And there are many Apple TV customers that would love it. And we can literally turn Apple TV into the best gaming console, right? By integrating it with Boosteroid. I'm gonna stop here.
He's saying too much.
Yeah, yes. That's why he's the best interview, man. He always says a little too much. It's great.
Or next?
But that's what makes him so much better to interview than all the other companies, man. They always tell us nothing, but use a million words to tell us nothing.
Oh, wait, HDR.
Oh, HDR.
We recently had the talk. I had to talk with our main technical guy about HDR. It is coming. All I can say.
It's coming.
But I mean,
It's coming.
HDR is
Good. I'm glad it's on their radar. It needed to be more.
It's probably a matter of weeks or months.
But it needed to be a higher priority than it used to be, which it seems like it is.
They have been already deployed. So hopefully the queues are a little bit less now, maybe not. But we have some additional servers that were deployed like last week or this week. On top of that, we're adding more capacity that will eliminate the queues. We hope so, like completely. And this should happen probably in a few months.
The other thing about Vlad is when he does say a little too much, it's usually something he's excited about and is actually legitimately cool.
And things like that, so it will probably take like a month or two. But after that, we hope that there will be no queues. And of course, that's we're not going to stop there. It's just the short-term roadmap, but we will be expanding in Brazil all the way through 2025 to 2026.
Can I add, because we've shared this on Facebook, so we've already added some capacity. More capacity will be added within like weeks. It will at most address the queues and there will be queues maybe on probably during the evenings, when everyone's late. But there will be less, and there will be times without queues finally. Yeah, and in a few months, all queues should disappear unless we get again the trickles. The amount of the players we have, yeah. Yeah, a few million players come to the useful persons, but for now it should go.
If you tell 10 of your friends about us, then we might be in trouble to get the queues. So let's keep it secret. If you tell 5 of your friends about us, that's going to be okay. Please do that.
Thanks. And the last question is about TV.
As long as they get the capacity up.
For controllers, and if you could hear in chat.
That's the biggest valid complaint on Boosteroid is the capacity problems.
Yep.
On sensitivity, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, many things can happen. It's always best to contact the support team because they have kind of the database of all the issues that have been arising since a very long time ago, so they can assist with that promptly. But the problem may be with the internet connection, with the gamepad, with the connection between the gamepad and the TV. The problem may be with the TV, and finally the problem may be with Boosteroid. You never know. So it's best to contact the support team, and they will figure it out. Thank you.
I'll do it in English because I'll do it in Portuguese. I have two questions. Does Boosteroid intend to do their own control pad? I think
We've covered this.
Yeah.
control, not console.
They weren't.
I think they were just being careful. I think they would have. I think it was in their
PlayStation, but a Boosteroid one,
potential,
a game controller that you,
I
your
guess,
own
possibilities. I think they
proprietary
weren't completely taken off guard, but I think they were
They
conservative.
were down like 4 times the amount.
Yeah, but considering how much it costs to invest that, importing all that stuff, setting it up,
Yeah,
I'm not surprised they lowballed it just to be safe. And then once the demand hit, they were like, okay, this is a sure thing.
Yep.
But I think their forecast might have accounted for it, but they're not made of money either, you know. They're not Nvidia or Microsoft where they could just dump millions of dollars with no sweat.
We kind of, for us, the focus is that people can use the controllers they already have. And we try to make the service more compatible with the controllers that are already out there. And that's why, at least for today, we don't have a plan to make our own controller.
Yeah, same thing he told us. No, it's beyond the scope of what they're trying to offer.
For now.
For now. They've got more than enough projects to work on.
Oh, yeah.
But they do take the question seriously.
My question is if you intend to launch more Boosteroid services in more states. So,
Did someone else already ask this?
São Paulo, we know that there are more servers coming, but do you intend to amplify that towards other places in Brazil, or do you have states planned already?
Okay, that's a fair question, but I think they're all going to São Paulo for
servers spread out in
wherever.
Europe, several servers spread out. Do you intend to do that here in Brazil as well, or do you plan to focus just here in São Paulo?
I think it was Sao Paulo for now and eventually expanding.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know.
It depends who they get deals with.
Yeah. I mean, we've touched upon that a few times. Of course, we plan to respond both here in São Paulo and in other places across Brazil, and then in other places across Latam, like Chile, like Colombia, and other markets. So, yeah, it will take time, but we will be there.
So yeah.
To give a shout out to Latitude here. Like, I hope we'll be fortunate to find more Latitude like around Brazil because around the world. Yeah.
I think he's not from São Paulo, so that's why he.
Please follow Hedal if you want to watch the servers in Brazil. He has a video from there. So yeah. Thank you to Victor here for organizing that. So yeah, there is a video of our servers in Brazil that you can watch on YouTube.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a best compliment for
Mais perguntas?
Any more questions? Please rise when you ask the questions. Good evening. The question would be about virtual machines in Boosteroid, for example, FIFA. Is it possible to use Boosteroid because
You didn't know what?
At least they're messing with them a little bit, keeping it fun. I don't think there has been anything we haven't already asked, though, has there really?
Yeah.
Couple of specific Brazil questions we didn't get as deep into, but they should just watch Cloud Gaming Battle. They'd know all these answers already.
They would. They would.
There's like the overall problem is that some games are built in a way that does not support cloud gaming, right? So there are multiple issues that may arise when you play them. Not mentioning
Some games are built specifically to stop cloud gaming, not just in a way that doesn't support it.
Game publishers and game developers to make sure that the game is compatible with the cloud-based environment. And we had several great cases where this helped us, because like the core issue that the anti-cheat system sometimes sees the VM and like does not like the fact that the game is running on the VM, right? And then the VM gets blocked. So we have a few cases with several big publishers where we fixed this, and it's no longer an issue. And of course, we address, on a case-by-case basis every single situation like that. And hopefully, in the very near future, everything will be more seamless with those games that we may have certain issues.
That was diplomatic.
Is the audio acting crazy for you too?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cyberpunk. I don't think anybody asked about Cyberpunk specifically.
I don't speak English, but my question is that nowadays,
the one guy talked about liking to play Cyberpunk, the presenter, but wasn't much.
So forth. So my question is about the positive scenario. What is the Boosteroid's vision about that? Because nowadays we see that cloud gaming is the future, because the setups are becoming increasingly expensive, and the Brazilian community of gamers, they like competitive games. So what is the Boosteroid's vision for ping and latency and also competitive games?
Stuff we've always covered. I mean,
yeah, it's all good. I'm hoping something interesting happens or they wrap it up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, go. For those who didn't know, Black Knight is. We live in the same area, and there's a crazy rainstorm, and his basement is getting some extra water that he's not supposed to have down there. He's trying to keep an eye on it until this is over.
And we're all think about that.
One more thing.
Okay. So it's a very complex question, and it has like many moving parts.
It's a complex question.
The backend, that's like the thing that you don't see but you can feel how it feels and how it plays.
That'll be all right.
We're obviously working on making there to be more servers and more spread out, so that you have lower peak. But it's always going to be like, what's the next best thing that we can do? So like, okay, we'll lower the ping one more millisecond, then we lower one more millisecond. Okay, here we can cut on some input lags. So stuff like that will always be happening. So like when Boosteroid is 150 years old, our children's children will be probably working at Boosteroid will be thinking, how else can we like lower the ping? So it will always be happening. It will be much better than now, and still it will be thinking all the time. stay here and still answer questions, but the restaurant is
Só para lembrar vocês, para que
Guys, just to remember everyone and to make it clear, we're getting to the final part of the event. We can stay around after 10 o'clock, but the service will be shut down at 10 o'clock precisely. So for those of you,
It's about that time. That's what they're saying.
be aware of that. At 10
You got
o'clock,
5 minutes.
will be
5-minute warning.
but we can continue talking to them after that, and we'll continue providing questions. All right. All right. I'm gonna leave it here.
Okay. Hey everyone, good evening. I'm David. I'm really glad you guys were well received here in Brazil. You guys deserve that. Thanks so much for bringing the service here to our country. We really needed that. So I think many people here are asking you guys about technical issues, about technical questions. I'd like to do something a little bit different. I'd like to ask you guys about the marketing. You know, in my opinion, you guys are the next are the next PlayStation, are the next. You know, you are a big tech company in the moment. You know that, and I'd like to know how are we promoting Boosteroid? For example, how a small retail, I have a small store, for example. How do I sell Boosteroid? How do I? We have plans to bring gift cards to Brazil, for example. Okay, this is the first question to small retails like mine, and also I'd like to know
like buying subscription cards at like the store kind of deal.
To people, to you.
That's a really. It's going to be more difficult. Maybe.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to know how are we going to promote Boosteroid to? Are we hosting events? For example, I think companies will try to contact you. For example, Brazilian carriers, internet carriers. So do you have plans to work with these carriers? For example, hosting tournaments or creating plans with within the internet plans? You know, we do have this kind of marketing plan. I'd like to know that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, give it to Max.
I'll jump on the tournaments part of the question because I have some background in esports. Some people, by the way, came to me and
very possible.
Hey, I know you're from
NVIDIA has an excellent product, but they got out ahead of Stadia and it paid off. And the same thing could happen to them.
You mostly promote the game. You don't promote the service. So if the service runs great, everyone thinks, okay, it's a great game. If something goes well,
not to mention public sentiment is a little more negative towards
I'm sure, but like we will be promoting games, and that goes to marketing in general. Like anything, most of the things we do, that's promoting someone else. So so there are, by the way, representatives of gaming development industry. So we will be happy to work with you and promote you, and hopefully you will help promote us as well. So that's that part of the question. With the events,
I'm sure it is very cool about working with people. I mean, we reached out to them. They gave us lots of like real information, not just stupid PR answers. It's one of the reasons I like them. It's like talking to an actual person instead of a corporate robot.
And promotion is besides them, because
even though they've had a lot of safe answers today.
We have for great service, we need to create partnerships like with Latitude and Victor. So we have partnership. Latitude did some stuff that helped promote us as well. So it's all very complicated, and it's all about partnership and not thinking about zero-sum games. So because I mean, it's not just about promoting us; it's we promoting someone else's game, and if you want to promote us, you also promote us. So that's how it works with promoting cloud gaming in general. You see like some other cloud gaming Thursday, you know, like I don't. Yeah. So they are about other games. They're not about that service. So it's just, you know, like the same with us. Yeah. It's about doing something with someone and then we get away.
You know what? One thing about esports, just imagine that
We're losing viewers too, just because
can be an esports
there hasn't been a whole lot going on here. A lot of asking of questions we already know the answers
I
to.
know, like esports is also about building a game. You see,
I mostly want to stay to the end to be polite.
into like the gaming, but that's great. But
This is cool to just chat.
To the massive adoption. Just imagine like you have Boosteroid, right? And everybody, regardless of how weak their PC is, they can play and compete with others. So we think that cloud gaming has very good potential in the view of like esports for dummies, right? So everybody can be an esports player, right? Because the VM specs are the same, right? And you can use the $200 computer and play against somebody who's using $2,000 computer.
But we've got personal interviews with them before. We've asked all these questions months ago.
So that's an interesting thing.
Except the Brazil specific ones. We didn't ask those.
In terms of marketing,
Well,
like,
we asked some.
very huge organic growth. So we don't really need marketing. And if we do marketing, we will be overwhelmed.
Hey.
Like we are overwhelmed in Brazil.
They had us with the 5-minute warning 5 minutes ago, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. Almost 3 hours.
Europe, North America, everywhere. Because the organic growth is really huge. That's why we do have all these things. Like we talk to telcos. We understand that we can bundle this with connectivity plans.
It's 10 o'clock in Sao Paulo right now, I believe, which is when these
9 here.
services have to end. Yeah.
A movie and then play a related game right away through the VOD service, right? Like watching Indiana Jones and playing Indiana Jones on the same platform.
A lot of
We have all this.
a lot of questions we kind of already knew the answers to. No fun answers. Really.
Yeah.
But legit answers.
Yeah.
The main thing is to have more servers.
Some of the questions were kind of specific. He hit him with how can you sell and promote? Like he was asking if they're going to put like subscription cards in stores where you can buy a subscription and like enter a code on the website kind of deal, which I think is a little out of their wheelhouse right now. Mm-hmm.
So with the rise of artificial intelligence on the market,
You can tell though that when they ask that question to Vlad, he's thinking about it. He's like,
suggest personalized recommendations for real-time performance optimization. We have this kind of plans.
So yes, but no details so far. Nothing specific, you know. Yes.
Boosteroid learned their lesson from the U.S. launch. Don't talk about it till it's up. Because they got cooked for that.
Next generation of hardware release will be good with the AI, and some great stuff should come for that.
And we wait for the game developers to integrate AI into games. And we will support these games because what we can do with AI is it's pretty limited, right? But when it comes to AI application for gaming, it's interesting how game developers implement AI stuff in the games, like with NPCs, with game mechanics, with all that kind of stuff.
Just a question from Zoom. Question from Zoom. Will Boosteroid add California service from latitude SH?
Shout out to Raymond from Flow.
Север Калифорнии оплатить.
Yeah. We have the plan to deploy in California for a long time. The US guys sneaked into the Zoom chat, right?
Yeah.
Blind spot now, so we do need servers there who will be there. Where they are there, right?
Yes, I see you.
That's my boy.
I would agree. But,
Well, at least we got that California question out for you, fellas.
streaming thing that's called Asianification. I don't know if you were referring to that. Do you know that word? And Asianification.
I wasn't sure they were going to ask it because this isn't about us. But
develops in the long term, but starting to get more cheating than
give us a little crap for that.
And that's cheatification. That's the word. And how do you, as a Boosteroid company, sees as the future of the Boosteroid? Is there probably, and I guess there will be some, cheatification. But how do you perceive that? That's not exactly a strategy, but this is the kind of thing that we are having in our streaming market. So Netflix are educated because the prices are going up, the services are going to have a very limited experience to the customers. So how does Boosteroid perceive that? I'm sorry if that offends you at all, and I hope that don't, but that's a more business.
Definitely not the most offensive thing I've ever heard. So it's
I mean, it's not offensive because, as I feel it, certification happens to big companies. When the company gets lazy, because at first you're a small company, you're working on your goal, you have a team that believes in your goal and tries to grow and make it better. And then some companies, like big gaming companies, when they achieve certain level, certain very high
Throw some shade.
money, overweight.
I agree, but it's fun.
So, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of big companies are getting lazy over time, and they lose respect for the customers. They lose respect to gamers. And I really hope
I don't know if lazy is the right word, but they work. They treat the customers as a resource to be mined as opposed to something to be respected.
GeForce now, I don't know, I forgot the word in English, it's a little slack on the GeForce
It's interesting.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here.
That also does show the kind of disdain for those big corporations that they have down there. That question even popped up.
Have plans.
Hey, man, that's where independent comes in, right?
Yeah, I feel it too.
A studio to develop your own game.
That's a nice question. We would love to make games sometime.
Oh, he's asking if they're going to make games.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was going to be a rehash of the guy asking about putting indie games up.
We will do that. And to have like exclusive content. This is not, I mean, we do not center the strategy around that. It's not very important, but it would be nice to have.
It's like a little dream. We've been talking about it. We've been a little bit dreaming about it. We've been understanding that we have a great infrastructure to maybe implement some amazing games.
So make Boosteroid simulator.
So it's just a dream at the moment.
I do think that a game that's wholly on the cloud can't be interfaced outside of the cloud can create some really interesting things that are impossible when you let it be installed places. There's no data
Well,
mining.
Microsoft is doing it, so
Yeah, but without data mining and with a certain like blocking of features, it makes cheating almost impossible. And you can actually keep secret. Like that's amazing. So I do hope it does happen for a couple games, but I don't know if I want the whole industry to go that way.
E com resolução Full HD, a gente vai melhorar isso e a gente vai adicionar 4K 120 FPS. Então, entretanto, nem todos os clientes podem.
Finally, 4K 120 FPS for Stardew Valley. I'm getting it.
PCs, porque quanto mais FPS você tem, mais carga você tem. Então, 4K, 1K FPS, talvez 2% recebem isso.
Hey, John's playing something.
Yeah, he's got a shout out.
He just got a shout out by loading up.
Povos são gamers hardcore. A gente precisa disso. A gente precisa de mais FPS.
Boa noite. Eu me chamo
Good
Nicolas.
evening. My name is Nicholas.
Nicholas.
I have a very simple question. I want to know why the name of the company, Boosteroid. I want to know where that came from. That name.
It's Boost Steroids.
It's on the stars, let's say, like asteroids.
Asteroid?
It's expansion in the space. So it's, I'd say.
I like the little Enterprise logo too.
Yeah, same here.
Our CEO is a big fan of space. Maybe he was this first
Star Trek guy.
This creation of the name of the company. So it's our love for the space, beyond space. Excellent.
Very new. So, I'm ready for Mario. First, my name is Victor, and welcome to Brazil Language Cloud Consumer. And I have the opportunity to play some games that my Xbox One S can run. First question is, you have total support for app games? The final question is, I have an issue that my games always in English. There's a plan for localized these games or export to other games. Hey guys, I love the name. And to Brazil.
So the question is tricky. The answer is eventually it will happen. We already do all we can. But the idea is that the games, so it very much depends on the publisher and the developer. So if the game can be, the localization can be changed during the session, it can be changed. If it can be saved, it's saved. But it's tricky because we need to change how the game works, and that's kind of the thing that we're not doing, because we just let you run the game. And if the game has the basic image in certain language, there's not much we can do. So
so technical.
Eventually,
that's right.
Because we're working with
Google Subtitles was coming up with some strange words on that last question too.
We'll be working with you guys, but we can. That's first of all.
Excelente. Quem está com o microfone? Mais perguntas? Aqui primeiro.
Those who have the microphone, any more questions?
Past 3 hours.
I have a question. Do you have plans to collaborate with resident creators to introduce Boosteroid to our community?
Brazilian creators. Well, we actually are already working, so so if you want to work with us as a creator, let's talk what we can do.
Yeah, because for us, like,
How long do you think they'll go?
Hopefully not too much longer.
And it's a great value because they can bring us right to the customer.
I got some work
we
to
can
do.
share things through them to the customers.
Yeah,
And like the
that's
whole
all good.
communication, with the community gets much better. So that's why
Yeah,
we don't have many.
that was the 5-minute warning. Was no more steak.
Yeah. And we'll definitely have more in the near future.
Shout out to Bob Eating that you guys are watching.
Okay. I have two questions.
Oh, Max, gotta love Max.
Are there plans for integration of mobile controllers? Those that you can connect to your cell phone. You use the cell phone as a mobile screen to play your games. And the second question, nowadays the Boosteroid has support for some.
Everybody's got a two-parter.
Games. I would like to know if there are plans to integrate more third-based strategy games, real-time strategy games. If there is
I'm guessing
any plans for
mobile is much bigger in Brazil than it is in the US or a lot of other
Or
places.
Europe. Yeah. I think Brazil has a bit more in common with like India in that regard. But Brazilians do love their PC games.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it's like half.
Yeah, I think it's a closer step. It'll be interesting to see if Boosteroid or OnePlay really get the real edge here. Boosteroid's got the head start.
Like an upgrade, update, we didn't get a notification and we like something made break. The best course of action, you tell us and we can quickly fix it. That's one thing. The other thing, I have had also turn-based games, that's why I jumped to the answer your question. I used to play Heroes of Might and Magic, some tactical games.
Heroes of Might and Magic, that's what's up.
Trade and Darkest Dungeons.
Give me Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Give me one from a bazillion years ago.
I say, hey guys, a good game.
Like my game's over 25 years old.
We usually have. And again, if you have a game that you want, just come to our Reddit, to Facebook, to everywhere, and tell us. Usually when you tell us to add the game, we try to add the game. If it's not like, if you tell us to add the game, we haven't added the game.
You like your games like you like your women over 25 years old?
Explain
That's right.
That's right. That's after just what tell us.
Strategy games, we have Disciples of 1990 something. We have it on Boosteroid. So, okay, you can check it
I
out.
like the word disciples there in the little box.
Now it's the last question. Does anyone have the microphone already?
What did he say? Last question?
Hi guys, I'm Mariana. I'm a journalist. So it's a more personal question. So do you believe that
Personal.
there's a way to improve accessibility for people with disabilities to play games?
So it's not
Interesting question.
a way to improve accessibility to everyone. So it's not like targeted at people with disabilities.
I don't know if that's Boosteroid's responsibility. That's
I don't think
more
it
of
is
the
either, but
developer.
it might be.
That your computer thinks is a normal Xbox One.
Maybe to support, controllers for that.
Maybe.
Might be.
Support the controllers is probably the best way to do it.
But that's about it as far as how they can control that.
Requirements. Again, let us know. We do not resist. If it can be implemented, we will do it.
Yeah, there's the whole thing about making games more accessible to people with disabilities, and Microsoft is doing a lot in this regard. They are designing custom controllers depending on what disability people have. So that it's
Really just them facilitating the other solutions is the best they can do, because they're really just they're a venue, they're a road to take. They're not the creators or the
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be the developers to do that.
that's good.
And I would like to add, because it's been said already a couple of times, but please come to us.
That's like
what you want.
asking your GPU manufacturer if they're going to facilitate disabilities. Like, it's not really their call.
We're trying, so we're trying really, and our conditions that we have unfortunately, but we are trying, but we really want to hear your opinions. If there's some feature that you want, please tell us. If you can think about some way we can, in our interface, use the needs that we have to help people with disabilities.
I guess their personal access, yeah, their personal menus and stuff could be tweaked for that in the future.
All right, sweet.
Please give a round of applause.
Got weird with the sound again.
Yep. Yep, that's it.
Got you. Well, I know you got some things to take care of, my dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Edward Stark down there and anyone else who stuck with us the whole video.
Finishing, but feel free to stay with them. You hang around to talk to them.
I'm going to stop the stream. Or we're going to do more Q&A.
Stick around and talk to them at this moment. And we thank everyone for the
it's all good.
that you gave us. Whether you're a gamer,
I have to get ready for tomorrow. I got to head back out to
for your presence here at this
stuff.
event.
I'll fill you in once we're done
Thanks
with the
to
stream.
The team here who participated in the panels. Thanks everyone, to each of you as well. And your experience here in the industry.
Cool. 3 hours, 15 minutes.
Hey, right on, bro.
And there.
Thanks for joining, guys.
And this has been
had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as riveting as I had hoped, but we got a couple of decent moments.
Yep.
So thank to each of you.
Thanks, Ned.
Thank you, Boosteroid, for their
Thanks, everyone.
to be participating in this
We'll
party.
see you again soon.
Despite not being
Hopefully,
gamer, but
they'll do this in
certainly
the
from now
U.S.
on,
and we'll be there. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
adventure
that's true.
Each and every one of you.
I'd like to
All
meet
right.
him like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would.
Hashtag
Take care, guys.
Boosteroid 2025. Boosteroid Brazil. For those who haven't taken a picture,